So powerful and so wise. Ironic. He could save others, but not himself.
You have been well trained, my young apprentice. They will be no match for you.
Naturally, after trying some of the top meta Pokemon in yesterday's video, that being Jellicent, Guzzlord, and Tinkaton, I wanted to find a Pokemon that could core break, a Pokemon that is such a threat that every team has to be on the lookout for if you're running meta. Enter Gourgeist. Gourgeist is a grass and ghost type Pokemon, but its strengths don't lie in its typing or its stats. It's about its moveset. With Incinerate, it can shred down Tinkatons or Fortresses or Ferrothorns. With Seed Bomb, it provides crucial coverage to Pokemon like Feraligatr, Quagsire, and Azumarill. And with Shadow Ball, it's a hard-hitting neutral damage or super effective into those key ghost-type Pokemon like Corsola and Jellicent. This Pokemon was the foundation of today's team, and in order to make it work, we have to build around it. This is why I decided to run with the Pancake, Unova Stunfisk. It's a ground and electric typing with Thundershock, Mud Bomb, and Discharge. It also core breaks the Water and Tinkaton cores that are going to be everywhere in the coming weeks. So we need to bring a third Pokemon to this team, one that's more bulky, can set us up in the mid game, and provide key coverage to some of our weaknesses. This is why we're going with Dewgong. Dewgong is an ice-water type with the fast move of Ice Shard, charge moves of Icy Wind, and Drill Run. This gives us some key coverages to Dragon-type Pokemon, while also having that Drill Run for Tinkatons or other steals. Dewgong's role is to essentially absorb damage and provide shield advantage for your team, allowing your Stunfisk or your Gourgeist to sweep in the endgame. So this is the team. Stunfisk on the lead, with Gourgeist and Dewgong in the back. Let's see how we do. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Shadow Golurk. This is obviously a huge problem, so we're swapping right away into Dewgong, and then we are met with none other than Morpeko, and Morpeko hits like a truck with that Aura Wheel. So we got to be giving up the first Protect Shield to stop that damage, and we're going to be looking to go for Drill Run. This is going to be doing super effective damage because that electric typing there on Morpeko, and Morpeko is not a very strong defensive typing. So it's going to be forced to give up a Protect Shield here, and now we're going to be looking to go for Icy Wind, and we do get it in time. This is huge. This is going to be potentially forcing 2 shields now from my opponent, applying the debuff, and now we're in a very solid position to sweep this game, either with our Stunfisk or our Gourgeist. Now, they decided to go for Psychic Fangs right there, which wasn't enough damage. And this is a crucial mistake by my opponent because now they're forced to throw all of their energy and I get to come in and load up. So we're going to go ahead and look to come in with the Pancake here and load up on energy. We will tank one of the Aura Wheels, which is perfectly fine. The Pancake can really absorb this one, but what's important is having that 1-0 shield advantage for the end game. So we're going to load up on energy, look to go for Discharge here. It's slightly less than Mud Bomb, even though it is resisted. It's going to be doing enough chip damage to take out the Morpeko. And now we swap right away into Gourgeist. Golurk comes in, but it is in trouble, and we get to the Seed Bomb right away. Seed Bomb now is doing super effective damage, and Gourgeist, boom, takes out the Golurk, and the final Pokemon is Talonflame. So things are not over, but this is why Gourgeist is so strong in this meta. The neutral damage here from Shadow Ball is incredible, and we still have a 1-0 shield advantage. Talonflame is now extremely low. It fully farms us down, but we should be able to fast move down. I decide as well to no shield here. It's risky, but the Flame Charge is not enough to take us out, and we are able to win game 1. Good battle. All right, moving into the next one, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Corviknight. Corviknight is a Pokemon that this team really loves facing. We can hit it from all angles. Electric here on the Stunfisk. We got Incinerate on the Gourgeist, and then the neutral Ice Shard and Icy Winds on our Dewgong. This team is built to handle Corviknights, and we love every moment of it as we go for Discharge here. Now, what's interesting is this Corviknight is deciding to stay in a matchup that's clearly not favored for it because it's taking so much damage from the Thunder Shocks and the Discharge now. It's going to be forced to Protect Shield. So the question is, what is in the back? They decide to swap out, and it is going to be the Clodsire. So core broken once again here by the Pancake, as the Mud Bomb now is going to be doing super effective damage. We go into Dugong, the 2-to-1 shield advantage. If the Clodsire here doesn't have Stone Edge, if it's running Sludge Bomb and Earthquake, we are looking good, but it does have the Stone Edge, which is doing about 50% of our health, and now we can go for Icy Winds. This is super effective. Right back, we have the 2-to-1 shield advantage, so we can clearly maintain switch, and they decide to give up 2 shields now in this situation. So the question is, why? Why are they doing that? What are they fearing on my team? They decide to swap back into Corviknight. I'm going to go ahead and let the Dugong go down, and it is going to be that payback. Not enough to take us out, so we swap right away into the Stunfisk, and this is going to be crucial. That Dugong sitting in the back with 1 health can act as a 3rd shield in a sense for us later in this game. Discharge, boom, takes down the Corviknight, and now it's just going to be Clodsire and Pokemon number 3, and it is going to be a Gourgeist in the back. So we are going to get destroyed right here by the charge move, but that is okay. We have our own Gourgeist. We have a 1-to-0 shield advantage. What we have to do is make sure we have enough energy to take this Pokemon down. So we're going to go ahead and go for an Incinerate. They do decide to swap in a Clodsire, so we're going to be going for Seed Bomb here. This is going to be doing neutral and hopefully just enough so that we can farm down with 1 more Incinerate, and now we can go for Shadow Ball to close this game out. Gourgeist, once again, proving how strong it can be in these late game shield advantage matchups. Boom! Down it goes. All right, moving into the next battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Tinkaton. This is the exact Pokemon that we are building up to counter, and they swap into Shadow Feraligatr, and this is what the Stunfisk and Gourgeist is built for on our team. Core breaking Tinkaton and water teams. So we do get 1 shield right there. Things are looking incredible for us. We get to another discharge. We're going to be giving up a shield here as the Shadow Hydro Cannon is going to be doing a lot of damage. So we got to stop that. But this discharge now is going to be forcing the 2nd shield from our opponent, which is huge. They do decide to shield. Now it's a 1-to-0 shield advantage. I'm sitting in a really good position now. I can easily shield myself if I want to keep this Pancake alive, because my guess is there's actually 2 waters in the back. They swap back into Tinkaton, so we're going to be going for Mud Bomb here. And then we're going to look to try to catch the Bulldoze on our Gourgeist. So we go for the Mud Bomb, we go for a second one, and they throw the first Bulldoze. So unfortunately not able to catch it, but that is okay. We're going to be able to survive 1 Bulldoze, and this Mud Bomb now is going to be doing so much damage that we're going to undercharge it so that we can come in with Gourgeist and look to farm down. Now we're going to have to swap to force the energy here, which is going to be resisted, and we also get 1 Incinerate, I think, worth of energy, which is huge for us. The Feraligatr is still in the back, and we don't know what Pokemon number 3 is, but I'm guessing it's another water, and it is the Jellicent here. So we're going to be going for Shadow Ball. This is going to be doing super effective damage, but unfortunately it's not enough to one-shot, as Jellicent is able to survive, but that is okay. Remember, we still have a very healthy Dugong in the back. It's a 0-to-0 shield matchup. We go down to Shadow Ball. We have our Pancake left, and we're going to look to come in with it and load up on energy. We go for Discharge right away to get rid of the Jellicent. All that is left is the Shadow Feraligatr, and unfortunately for them, I have a full health Dugong, and that is not going to be enough, as they do decide to go for the Hydro Cannon. Totally fine. Dugong can take it from here, and this is why Dugong is so strong on this team, as it has the ability to soak a lot of hard-hitting charge moves that hurt our team. Those Hydro Cannons, those Ice Beams, whatever it is, Dugong can soak it. Good battle. All right, moving to the next one. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Stunfisk. Mere fight. Now, this is going to be interesting here. We have to see who is going to be winning charge attack priority. So I go for Mud Bomb, and they win. They have the higher attack stat, Stunfisk, which means I have an opportunity. They know they win charge attack priority. Therefore, I can use it to my advantage later on in this lead matchup to soak the damage and save energy on my own Stunfisk. So we're going to go ahead and overload right here. The second Mud Bomb is not the knockout one. It is always the third. So we're going to look to go for 1 more Mud Bomb, and then we're going to be swapping into our Dugong to try to catch the charge move. It's a bit risky, but I think it's a play that we have to make in order to take advantage of this game. So we're going to swap now out into Dugong. We do catch the charge move, and because of how blind it was thrown right there, my guess is this is in fact a Mud Bomb, and it is. So we are able to catch it. We also bait out a Talonflame. This is critical for us. Our Stunfisk has a discharge loaded on the back end. Our Dugong here now getting the Talonflame on the field frees up Gourgeist for a potential sweep in the end game. So now we are going for those icy wins. This is neutral in the matchup, and the debuffs are so clutch. We also get a shield, so now we're back at even shields right here. If we get to another Icy Wind, this is going to be huge, and we'll have to see if we can survive the charge move as I do let it go, and we are able to hang on. Dugong is so bulky. It is beautiful in the Great League as we get the second Icy Wind and get the Talonflame extremely low. We come back in. We look to go for a discharge now where they're stuck in the fast move animation of Incinerate. This is now going to be taking out the Talonflame or getting the final shield. Down it goes. Final Pokemon is Greninja. So this, my friends, is a very dangerous situation, and we are going to try to play this to a T. Now, what we have to do is firstly never shield that first Night Slash. Remember, Night Slash has a chance to boost, and now we are going to have to shield this second one. But remember, they still have their lead Pokemon, so we wait for fast move animations. We do not need any more Incinerates here. We have to make sure Seed Bomb is thrown into Greninja. So we wait, and we go for the Seed Bomb again, and we are able to clutch it up by holding back our fast move. Boom! Down it goes, and the final Pokemon is that Stunfisk, and we are able to Incinerate down, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Wigglytuff. Now, Wigglytuff, you guys are going to see everywhere. It's incredibly strong, very neutral in this meta, and it's not tough to deal with for this team. We can easily hit it with, the Mud Bombs, the Icy Winds, Drill Run, Seed Bombs, what have you. The trouble is, what is in the back? What do we need to keep alive in order to potentially win this game? Because the Wigglytuff is not the threat. So they go for Icy Wind. I'm going to go ahead and load up on energy and then look to swap out into my Dugong after this discharge, because I want to make sure if I need the Pancake in the back, if I need that Mud Bomb, if I need that discharge, I'm going to be able to survive. So we go for one more discharge here, seeing if we can force the shield, and then maybe we keep this Pancake alive, and we actually do get the shield, so I'm going to keep the Pancake. I'm going to let it go down. I got 2-to-1 shield advantage, but my thought process was maybe I need to keep it alive, but since we got that shield, we are able to take this advantage as Dugong can come in. Disarming Voice is not going to be enough, and we do farm down 2-to-1. Gourgeist in a good position, and we have Bastiodon in the back, so we're going for Drill Run right away. This is why Dugong is so amazing in the Great League. That Drill Run is crucial into these Steel-type Pokemon. We are able to swap right away into Gourgeist, and the final Pokemon is a Gourgeist Mirror, and we have the shield advantage. But unfortunately, in these situations, shield advantage is not everything, because it's Incinerate that's doing the damage here. So we got to be very careful as we go for Seed Bomb ourselves, because we need to have energy on this back end if they decide to let it go. And we are able now, we're going to have to give up our second Protect Shield, and we are going to be able to farm down with Incinerate. So this is going to be extremely close. Bastiodon is coming back in. Dugong, mind you, is weak to Stone Edge on Bastiodon. So we have to try to get a shield and knock out this Bastiodon. So we go for Seed Bomb. They don't shield. And now my thought is, I'm going for Shadow Ball here. Maybe they don't shield. Shadow Ball is going to do considerable more damage, and that is a fact. They let it go, and one more Incinerate is able to take it, and we are able to win. Good battle. All right, moving into the next one. We have Stunfisk on lead versus Jellicent. We love seeing this. Jellicent on the lead is huge for our team because our whole team does pretty well into it. Obviously, we have to watch out for Surf. We have to watch out for Shadow Ball, but that is why we have Protect Shields, but we are hitting just as hard back. Discharge now does land. That is huge. And what you need to understand is you always want to be looking at what your opponent is doing and not doing. They're deciding to stay in, which is interesting to me because maybe they're core broken by the Pancake. If you are extremely weak to electric type Pokemon and you have hard counters in the back, you would be swapping out to try to get realignment. But in this situation, they're deciding to stay in. So we let a Surf go through. We're able to get to another Discharge. This could knock out the Jellicent, maintain our switch advantage, or we get that 1-0 shield advantage, and they decide to let it go, and it's going to be a Shadow Typhlosion. So we do get the Mud Bomb in time, and this Typhlosion is actually a very, very dangerous threat. It's huge. It has Thunder Punch and Incinerate, and this is now dangerous. I'm going to decide to no-shield the Thunder Punch, but it was a Fire Blast. Boom! Oh my goodness, I am getting cooked right now. Gourgeist, come in. Please do something. I don't think this is going to be enough damage. This Shadow Typhlosion took me by surprise with the Fire Blast, and it just 1v2'd my entire team, and that is going to be a good game. The final Pokemon was, in fact, Clodsire, so it makes a lot of sense why they stayed in with Jellicent. My Stunfisk could beat their whole team. Good battle. All right, moving to the next one. We have Jellicent on the lead once again. This is a beautiful situation for us. They decide to swap into Ferrothorn, and we come in with Gourgeist. This is the easiest farm down you will get. Obviously, Flash Cannon might be something you want to consider, but it's not going to be one-shotting us, so we just let every charge move go through, and it's just going to be Power Whip, and we fully incinerate down. If Jellicent comes back in, it's going to be facing an onslaught of Seed Bombs, and our opponent does decide to surrender, so that is going to be a good game. Next battle, Stunfisk versus Jellicent. Again, I'm telling you guys, you're going to see water and Tinkatons everywhere. Jellicent especially, and Shadow Feraligatr and Quagsire. They're going to be very common in this meta. So we decide to go for Discharge right here. My opponent rightfully gives up a shield, but they are once again staying in. The odds are they're absolutely core broken. So we're going to keep our Stunfisk alive, and we're going to be going for another Discharge, and now they swap into Wigglytuff. So I'm going to load up on energy and go into Dugong here. My Unova Stunfisk in the back. Obviously, Wigglytuff is not a hard counter to the Stunfisk, but the fact that they stayed in with Jellicent tells me their third Pokemon could potentially be weak, which is why I loaded up on 2 charge moves and sent it to the back, because later on that is going to pay off huge for me. Now, Dugong in this situation could potentially get a switch advantage if I want to invest a shield, but I really don't want to, and we get a shield ourselves. The 1-0, this couldn't get any better. We still have a Gourgeist. We still have like near max energy on our Stunfisk. Drill Run now is going to be able to connect, and we get the Wigglytuff extremely low. Gourgeist can come in and farm down. 1 Incinerate worth of energy is huge in this type of situation, but an Icy Wind is going to hurt, but it's not worth shielding. We can easily let it go. We do survive, and now we're going to see what they have in the back. It is going to be a Quagsire, so now we can go for Seed Bombs, and this is a beautiful situation to be in. This is why this team is sweeping so hard in this meta right now, as they do decide to go for the charge move. Mud Bomb, Aqua Tail, I don't care. It's not going to knock me out. Mud Bomb is resisted, and we are looking so good. We go for the Seed Bomb. Their last Pokemon is that Jellicent, and remember, we have 2 charge moves on our Stunfisk waiting in the back. So we're going to go ahead and swap out right away and go for the double Discharge. And this is going to be a good game, very well played. This team was so much fun to use, and I was able to run into a lot of top meta threats that we see in the Open Great League in this current format, as they do decide to surrender. All right, moving into the final battle, we have Wigglytuff on the lead right here. So this was actually, I was talking earlier about the Wigglytuff game. It was actually this one. There's 2 Wigglytuff games that I was thinking of, and this is the one where I decided, you know what, maybe I want to swap out and save my Pancake for later. So that's what I decided to do. I go into Dugong. I didn't want to get hit with Icy Wind. I wanted to keep the Stunfisk healthy, as it can do very well in this meta, and there might, in fact, be a Pokemon in the back that we want to handle. Now, they bring in Gastrodon, which is very interesting, because now I'm thinking, okay, if they brought in Gastrodon, which is clearly a very strong counter to the Unova Stunfisk because of the Mud Slaps there, do they have 2 Mud Boys in the back, right? Do they have a Quagsire maybe, or maybe even a Swampert? What is back there? Now, in this situation, we're going straight Icy Wind. It's applying those debuffs. It's allowing us to survive longer and get off more fast move and charge move damage, and they're going to be forced to throw as well. If I hadn't been going for Icy Winds, they would have easily been able to farm me down, but now Body Slam energy is forced. All right. We have a tough choice to make. We're coming in with Gourgeist. We are able to barely not get the charge move there, and they do bring in Drift Blim. So something that the Pancake can do well against, but Drifblim as well does have Icy Wind, which is very dangerous for us. We're going to go ahead and go for Discharge. Now, looking back at this situation, it might have been more optimal for me to actually save shields for Gourgeist instead. We have that Shadow Ball. The Stunfisk here is applying a lot of pressure very quickly with Discharge and Thundershock, and into that matchup against the Wigglytuff, obviously the Incinerates are going to do very well. So this is a tough decision right here. I decide to give up the no shield. Icy Wind is able to take us out. We have the 1-0 here, and my opponent makes a beautiful swap. I even waited like a half turn right there to see what they would do, and then I clicked Shadow Ball and they swapped in time. So my opponent read me like a book. Beautiful battle and beautiful game against my opponent. This Icy Wind is going to do us in, and unfortunately, because of the energy that I just had to waste in this matchup, the Wigglytuff in the back is going to be able to get to a charge move. Seed Bomb is enough to take them out, and there we go. Wigglytuff now takes us down. So good game to my opponent. They made an amazing catch on their Gastrodon, and that ultimately did it in for me.